What if your dream wasn't a dream at all, but a part of you trying to be seen? You wake up and it's still there. Not just the memory, but the feeling, the heaviness in your chest, the echo of something unspoken. It doesn't make sense, but it lingers like a whisper beneath your waking thoughts. Maybe it was a place you've never seen but felt like home. Maybe it was someone you've never met, yet somehow you missed them when you woke up. Dreams like that don't come from nowhere. They come from the shadow. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." But the unconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in symbols, in images, in dreams. This is not just psychology, it's a soul language, ancient, precise, and deeply personal. And if you know how to listen, your dreams will reveal what your waking mind was never ready to face until now. Dreams begin in the dark, not just the darkness that surrounds your bed at night, but the darkness that lives inside you, the kind of darkness you don't acknowledge in the daylight, the one that doesn't show up in polite conversation, the darkness that has no name, only feeling. That's where dreams come from. They are not entertainment, they are not accidents, they are maps, symbols, keys. The dream is your soul's attempt to speak in a world that stopped listening. Most people spend their lives avoiding themselves, avoiding silence, avoiding stillness. They fill their days with noise, and then at night the unconscious rises and speaks the truth they've been running from. You can suppress emotion, you can bury trauma, you can pretend to be healed, but the soul keeps the receipts. And when you sleep, when your ego finally drops its mask, the deeper self emerges. Carl Jung said, "In each of us there is another whom we do not know. The one we do not know is the one who dreams." You might dream of falling, of being naked in public, of a door you're afraid to open, of a person who's gone, standing there like they never left. Why? Because dreams don't lie, they only reveal. You are not dreaming about a door, you're dreaming about fear, about transition, about the boundary you refuse to cross. You are not dreaming about that person. You're dreaming about the part of you that still clings to them, or maybe the part of them that still clings to you. We live in a world that worships logic and denies the symbolic. But your dreams, they are nothing but symbols. They are myth, replayed on the theater of your mind, with you as both actor and audience. Jung believed the psyche contains everything, not just the conscious mind, but the hidden layers beneath it. And the dream is the bridge. It shows you the fracture, the ache, the wound you carry without words. You may think you've moved on from your childhood, but your dreams say otherwise. They take you back to the room, the voice, the moment. You may believe you've forgiven, but then the same face returns, again and again, and the emotion still grips you like a chain. This is not obsession. This is unfinished integration. You see, the psyche will loop until the soul is heard. The same image, the same scenario, the same sensation. Not to punish you, but to awaken you. Dreams are how the unconscious repeats the message until the conscious self understands it. And here's the secret no one tells you. The dream isn't just what happens while you sleep. It's what happens when you stop pretending. It's the truth you're not allowed to say aloud. The memory you've dressed up as no big deal. The grief that lives behind your smile. It's all there, and it has always been there. The dream is the soul's poetry, unfiltered, symbolic, raw, not pretty, not polished, but utterly sacred. It will use whatever it must to get your attention. The familiar, the absurd, the terrifying. Because in that surreal language, the ego doesn't know how to interrupt. You can't rationalize your way through a dream. You feel your way through it. You sense, you intuit, you surrender. That's the point. It bypasses your intellect and speaks directly to your essence. Jung called it the royal road to the unconscious, because nothing reveals your shadow more clearly than the patterns of your dreams. And when you learn how to read them, you begin to read yourself. That's when everything changes. You realize the nightmare isn't here to harm you. It's here to reveal where you're still trapped, where you're still grieving, where you're still lying to yourself. It is the part of you that remembers what you've forgotten, and the more you ignore it, the louder it becomes. The dream is not random. It is not meaningless. It is the shadow knocking on the walls of your consciousness, asking to be seen. So next time you dream, don't wake up and forget it. Sit with it, ask it what it wants you to know, and remember, the dream doesn't end when you open your eyes. The message is just beginning. Every dream is a mirror, but not the kind that shows you your reflection. The kind that shows you what you've refused to see, what you've buried, what you've exiled into silence. In Jungian psychology, every figure in your dream is you, the lover, the enemy, the stranger, even the child crying in the corner. Each one carries a fragment of your unconscious, because the psyche is not linear, it is symbolic. It creates characters, scenes, and metaphors to represent the parts of you that are still unresolved. So when you dream of being chased, ask, what truth am I running from? When you dream of someone yelling at you, ask, what inner voice have I ignored for too long? When you dream of someone dying, ask, what part of me is ready to be let go? Your dreams are not about the world outside you. They're about the world within you, disguised in the clothing of memory, emotion, and metaphor. The shadow doesn't show up directly. It wears masks, it plays roles, it crafts scenarios that provoke something buried deep inside. The purpose isn't confusion, it's confrontation. To make you feel, to make you notice, to make you stop running. And it works. You wake up shaken, stirred, sometimes in tears, because your soul remembers what your mind tries to forget. That moment when someone betrayed you, that voice you silenced years ago, that version of you that you've outgrown but still carry like a ghost. Dreams are haunted not by spirits but by your past selves. The unhealed child, the shamed teenager, the angry adult you've tried to suppress. They live in the dreamscape, not to punish you but to remind you, you're not done yet. There's still something to feel, something to grieve, something to forgive. Carl Jung believed the unconscious compensates for what the conscious self neglects. So if you avoid your anger, your dreams will express it for you. If you repress desire, it will erupt in your sleep. If you pretend you're fine, the dream will show you where you're still bleeding. This is the shadow's genius. It doesn't confront you with logic, it confronts you with symbol, because symbol slips past the gatekeepers of the mind. You don't rationalize a dream, you feel it, you carry it, you remember it days later, because something in you knows it meant more than it said. And when you're ready to listen, you realize, that wasn't just a house, it was your inner structure, collapsing. That wasn't just a storm, it was your repressed rage finally pouring out. That wasn't just a stranger. It was your intuition warning you. The dream is a myth that only you can interpret. It's not one size fits all. It's coded in your personal history, written in the language of your soul, staged on the sets built by your own psyche. And the more you pay attention, the more the dream reveals. Your triggers, your obsessions, your emotional loops. They all show up in dreams because the shadow knows you can only integrate what you feel. So it stirs the feeling. It recreates the wound. It mirrors the pattern, not to trap you in it, but to free you from it. But only if you're willing to see yourself in the mirror, not the mask, not the persona, but the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are when no one's watching, when you're dreaming. And that's the moment the healing begins. Not when you analyze the dream, but when you feel the message behind it, and stop turning away. So why does the shadow speak in dreams? Why not just tell you plainly what's wrong? Why not give you a sign, a message, a voice? Because the shadow doesn't speak through language. It speaks through feeling, through symbol, through haunting repetition. Not because it wants to confuse you, but because that's the only language your deeper self still understands. Dreams are the last safe place where the mask falls away, where your inner world isn't filtered, edited, or restrained. And in that space, the shadow speaks freely. It shows you the image you fear. It sends you the person you're still energetically tied to. It recreates the moment you swore you were over, but never really healed. The shadow is not your enemy. It is your reckoning, your mirror, your medicine. And its agenda is not destruction. Its agenda is integration. Carl Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." And that's why the shadow doesn't knock politely. It shakes you. It disturbs you. It shows up in dreams you don't want to revisit, because you must. The shadow reveals what is real, not what's socially acceptable, not what's polite or palatable, but what's true even if it hurts, because only in truth can healing begin. We've been taught to chase the light, to manifest positivity, to rise, ascend, evolve. But Jung warned us, you don't become whole by imagining light. You become whole by making the darkness conscious. And dreams, especially the dark ones, are sacred thresholds. They initiate you. They challenge the persona you hide behind. They bring the exiled parts of you back into the room. That version of you that was silenced. The one who was shamed. The one who was too much, too wild, too emotional. She still exists. He still breathes. They still ache to be known. And so the shadow keeps sending dreams. Dreams that disturb your sleep. Dreams that confuse your mind. Dreams that leave behind a feeling you can't explain, but can't forget. Because the feeling is the message. The anxiety, the grief, the strange longing you carry after waking. That's the residue of truth rising through your unconscious. The shadow uses dreams not to terrify you, but to transform you. You dream of water. It's your emotions. Deep, hidden, rising to the surface. You dream of a locked room. It's a memory you've sealed away. You dream of death. It's not the end, it's the soul signaling change. The death of the false self. Every disturbing dream is a doorway. Every symbol a cipher. Every pattern, a pulse beneath the surface of your consciousness, asking to be decoded. The shadow is trying to give you back your power. The exact power you abandoned to stay safe. Because you learned to perform, to fit in, to be good, to avoid rocking the boat. But the shadow doesn't care about performance. It wants authenticity. It wants the version of you that stopped smiling when it hurt. That version of you that never got to speak, that never got to cry, that never got to say I'm not okay, and I don't want to pretend anymore. And when it doesn't find you in waking life, it comes in dreams, because that's where the veil is thin. That's where you stop pretending. That's where the deeper self can slip through. Every night you are invited into the underworld of your own psyche, not to be punished, but to be reclaimed. The shadow's secret is this. It doesn't want to hurt you. It wants to restore you. It doesn't want revenge. It wants remembrance. Because the shadow is not evil. It is unloved power. It is unmet grief. It is holy truth that was rejected by others, by society, or by you. And dreams are the sacred language it uses to bring you back. You are not dreaming of your fear. You are dreaming through it, with it, for it, so you can finally look at it and say, I see you. I'm ready to feel you. I'm ready to come home. Because until you make peace with the shadow, you will keep dreaming the same dream, living the same pattern, repeating the same loop. And the shadow, patient and precise, will wait for you there, not with punishment, but with a key. The question is, are you ready to turn the lock? Is a message. But the shadow doesn't speak in plain language. It speaks in the forgotten dialect of the soul. So how do you listen to something that doesn't use words? You begin by feeling. When you wake from a dream, especially one that lingers, you must resist the urge to analyze it to death. Don't dissect it with logic. Don't strip it of its mystery. Instead, honor it. Ask yourself, what emotion did it leave behind? What part of me felt activated, frightened, awakened, moved? Because the emotion is the message, not the plot, not the timeline. The feeling. The unconscious doesn't care about coherent narratives. It speaks through sensation, metaphor, memory fragments, and archetype. So when you remember a dream, write it down, even if it makes no sense. Keep a journal beside your bed, not to decode dreams like riddles, but to build a sacred record of what your soul has been trying to say. Over time, patterns emerge. The same image, the same figure, the same place, and with it, a deeper truth begins to surface. If a dream leaves you disturbed, ask, what part of me have I refused to feel? If a dream leaves you longing, ask, what within me has been denied, unexpressed, or buried? If a dream brings back someone you've lost, ask, what unfinished story still lives between us, or within me? You're not just interpreting symbols, You're reconnecting with the lost language of the self. Jung called dreams compensatory. They show us what our waking life is ignoring. So if you're always smiling by day, your dreams may show you the rage beneath the mask. If you always feel in control, your dreams might reveal the terror underneath that calm. This isn't a betrayal of who you are. It's a balancing, a remembering, a return. And when the message is strong, when the dream won't leave you alone, it means the shadow is knocking. This is the moment to listen deeply. And you don't need a dream dictionary. You need presence. Here's how you listen. Let the image stay with you. Don't rush to explain it. Sit with it. Close your eyes and return to it. Ask the symbol a question. Why are you here? What are you trying to show me? Feel what arises, without judgment. It may not be pretty. It may bring tears. That's good. That's real. Write it down, then walk away. Let the insight arrive like water through cracked stone. Slow, powerful, patient. And here's a sacred practice. Each night before you sleep, speak directly to your unconscious. Ask it with reverence, not demand. Shadow, what do you want me to see tonight? What part of me is ready to return? And then let go. Let the dream come if it wants. Let the silence be enough if it doesn't. Because even in silence the shadow listens. Even in dreams you forget. Your soul still speaks. This is the beginning of intimacy with the self. Not performance, not perfection, just presence. The more you listen, the more the shadow trusts you. And the more the shadow trusts you, the clearer the dreams become. You'll notice when an image repeats. You'll recognize the patterns. You'll feel the shift. When what once terrified you begins to feel like home. Because that's what the shadow has been trying to show you all along. You are not broken. You are unfinished, unintegrated, unmet by yourself. And the dream is where that meeting begins. There is a place you return to each night, whether you remember it or not. A place untouched by time, beyond words, beyond form. A place older than thought itself. This is not imagination. This is not fantasy. This is the soul's sacred ground, the dream realm. And the night is your temple. Not a temple built with stone and mortar, but one built in silence, in symbols, in shadows. When the world grows quiet, when your body sleeps, a deeper part of you awakens. The ego retreats, the mask slips, and the raw, unguarded self begins to speak. In the language of archetype, of myth, of memory, you meet yourself here, not as you appear, but as you are. And that is why the night is holy. Because in the dark, you stop performing. You stop trying to be liked, to be productive, to be strong. You simply become available. Available to truth, available to memory, available to feeling. And that availability is how the shadow reaches you. Carl Jung understood what most forget. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But to become that, you must first face what you've become in order to survive. That's what the dream shows you. The cost of forgetting yourself, the cost of pretending, the cost of exile. It reveals the grief that never left, the child that never healed, the wisdom you rejected, just to be accepted. And when it shows you these things, it doesn't do so to harm you. It does so to initiate you. Because wholeness is not built in the daylight. It's forged in darkness, in the places no one claps for, in the questions with no answers, in the nights where nothing makes sense, and everything hurts. That is sacred space. The night is not the absence of light. It is the presence of mystery, of the unknowable, of the divine waiting to be remembered. So when you close your eyes, you are not escaping the world. You are entering your original sanctuary. And every dream, every symbol, every shadowed scene is part of a ritual older than language. The ritual of self-return. A ritual where the past reappears, where the unconscious shows its face, where the soul reminds you, I never left, you just stopped listening. You do not need to understand every dream. You only need to honor it, to sit with it, to feel what rises without running. Because in that space, something ancient is working through you. The soul heals in circles, not lines, in spirals, in symbols, in sleep. And so the dream may bring you back to the same place, again and again, until you finally see what you were never ready to see. This is not regression, it is resurrection. You are not being dragged backward. You are being pulled inward. home. So tonight, when sleep comes, don't just collapse into unconsciousness. Enter as a pilgrim, with reverence, with curiosity, with willingness. Let the dream become your sacred text. Let the night become your temple. Let your silence become your prayer. And before you surrender to sleep, whisper, "Show me what I've forgotten. Reveal what I've rejected. Return what I once lost." Then let go. Let the unconscious take you. Let the soul walk you through the hallways of your inner world. Let the shadow speak, in its own strange, beautiful way. And when you wake, don't rush, don't scroll, don't forget. Close your eyes again. Feel what lingers. Write what rises. Remember what matters. Because the dream isn't gone. It's alive, and it will return, night after night, until you're ready to become the one you were always meant to be. You are not just a body with a mind. You are a soul with a mirror, and the night is your place of reflection. Welcome back to the temple.